Welcome back to another episode of Reality. You know the vibes, all the tea. We are talking Love is Blind UK. Jasmine and Bobby are in the building.
Hello.
Do you know what? It's crazy because when I think of the show, I feel like you guys are like the winners. Like, as in you're together, you're glistening, you're glowing. How does it feel?
It feels mad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It feels mad. I mean, we've had a crazy year so far. It's been pretty normal up until this point, and then everything drops, and you know, people seeing you in the street and like, love is blind, love is blind. It's been very good though, very supportive. I mean, we've had the best time. So,
how have you been enjoying your newfound fame? Because like obviously the whole country, not the whole world's watching it. Have you seen all like the commentary in like America and stuff? Like, how does it feel like when people stop you and stuff? Because it's a positive thing. They're not stopping you about anything bad. It's like they're stopping you about your love story, which people are really invested in.
I mean, it's taking some time to get used to, because I've got like colleagues that are messaging me saying, Jasmine, are you on Netflix Love is Blind? And these are people that I work in the hospital with. So it's a little bit awkward, them seeing me with my nurse hat on, and then them seeing me, you know, snogging a man on TV. It is a bit awkward, but you know what? I'm not mad at it. At the end of the day, you know,
everyone finds love. All your colleagues, you know, it's normal. It's a normal thing.
Exactly.
So you had to sit on this bad boy piece of information for a whole year.
that's been the hardest thing, is sitting on it, keeping it quiet, you know, keeping it a secret. That's been the hardest thing.
And I've got a big ass mouth as well,
Yeah.
so it's been very hard to keep it in.
But you know what? What shows that you guys are actually genuine is the fact that you've stayed together even within that year.
Yeah.
Because if it was just for the show, then respectfully, you know, after a month, juices,
Yes.
see you at the reunion.
Yeah.
But you've stayed together. So what was that year together like? Because that was a year away from the cameras. That was a year of you two genuinely getting to know each other. So what was that like?
It's actually been the best year. I think the
Wow.
most difficult part for us has been like the past couple of weeks, when now your relationship's out in the open and everybody knows you've been on the show, but of course they don't yet know the conclusion. So I think this has been the most difficult time, hasn't it?
Yeah,
The
because we
year
haven't
has
been able to go out.
Yeah, we spend so much time together, going out, going to gym, going to the food market, drinking the week, not too much, just a little bit, but that's been difficult.
No, but
hasn't
my
it?
heart's warmer because I'm like, God, this show really works.
Yeah.
Because someone put me on there so I can find myself a man. Gosh, this is so beautiful. So wait, talk through that. So you've been going to food markets, you've been going to the gym. I'm just I'm loving this for you.
No, we love it, don't we? It's been so difficult now. I have to go to the gym on my own. I'm at the food market on my own. I'm looking over my shoulder, like imagining Jasmine. Oh, she's not there. I'm just on my own eating
You
my
literally
burger.
feel like Billy No Mates, honestly, because I'm like, now I'm going, you know, and don't get me wrong, I love my alone time. But then when you're so used to having that person there,
Yeah.
it is a bit difficult, but like, you know, we don't have long to go.
No.
So when you so when so wait, so when you are at events, like for example, like we were at the
Yeah.
same event the other day, how does that work then? Do you just not communicate with each other?
We couldn't even talk. We could. I think we spoke to each other like a couple times, but it was kind of like little glances.
Yeah, because I was like, what?
And even at one point, I remember she looked over at me and she was like,
What?
but on the most part, yeah, we're keeping it low key.
No. Okay. Well, obviously, when this goes out, the world will know that you're, you know, what, together and everything. So let's rewind back to the pods. What an amazing experience that must have been. Obviously, speaking to like all of the different people, going on all the different dates, and obviously honing in on what you really want. Bobby, who else were you speaking to? I mean, I just forgotten. I think I forgot. I don't remember you.
But the thing is, I didn't have any other connections.
Yeah,
really. I mean,
so-
I had dates with everybody else,
Yeah.
just like everybody else. I had dates with 14, 13 other people.
But it just didn't hit. It didn't
No,
land.
like for
the
me,
way it
Jasmine
did
was
with-
my first date.
Wow.
And, you know, it straight away.
And it
This is what I'm
worked.
looking for.
And it worked.
She was the only one for me, yeah.
Damn. And Jasmine, obviously, you were talking to Bobby, and you were talking to Sam at one point as well, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I mean, I guess I owed it to myself. At the end of the day, I'm, you know, trying to find my husband. So I need to explore other options.
Yeah.
But then, you know, eventually when Bobby was like, listen, I don't want to speak to anyone else. I don't want to be wasting my time. I'm like, I love that energy.
Yeah.
And that's it. I broke it off with Sam. So it was very easy for me to
was
like make
easy
a
for
decision,
you.
because I knew he was the one, but deep inside I wanted him to make the first move.
Yeah.
So I waited for him to kind of give me the green light, and
And
then
I
I'm like,
wasn't
all right.
coming in like too strong in the beginning, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's a big decision for me as well. I wanted to make sure like, nah, this is exactly what I want. She is the one. So we were a little bit of a slow burner, because I wasn't going to go in there and just say anything to anyone. You know, I wanted to make sure that this is the real deal and this is what I want.
Yeah.
So had a sleep on it. When I knew I was ready, came in the next day. all guns blazing. I was like, nah, I'm going to get my
love
girl.
that.
Got my girl, and then the rest is history.
Love that. But a quick rewind and a bit of an awkward recap now on kind of Sam. At that time, what was it that you found interesting about him at that moment in time?
I think, you know what, Sam's not a bad guy. He may, make some people feel uncomfortable with what he says and obviously what he's done. But he did have some like nice traits. He was very kind of emotionally vulnerable with me. And, what I noticed a lot with him is he would like, future plan a lot. Like, oh, okay, so on your break, can I come and pick you up and, we'll have lunch together and all these things. So he kind of painted, a bit of a future. Do you know what I mean?
I was about to because some people sell dreams in this life. I'm telling you, I'm not keen, but I'm saying in general. Same. Like when I'm dating someone and they're like painting like the future,
gonna have babies.
We're gonna go to Dubai together. I'm like, what? Okay, really? Okay, right. Let me get back. Like it does make you feel really excited.
Yeah, and that's what kind of like drew me to him in the in that moment in time. And then when I reflected back on it, I'm like, listen, I don't want a man with just words. I need action.
Action.
Yeah, and Bobby J right here, give me action.
Period.
And that's it.
Period. Love that. And obviously you decided to just like call things like quits with Sam. I guess you wouldn't have seen his reaction up until the time when you've watched the show. He obviously left the pod. He wasn't a very happy chap. How do you feel now you've watched his reaction? What's your opinion on that reaction from him?
Okay, so when I was in the pod and he had walked out, I heard him kind of slam the door.
Ooh.
But then I thought maybe he was just, trying to get out the situation as quickly as possible because, it wasn't an easy conversation that we did have. When I, kind of watched it back, obviously it was just a bit like, what? You're going to go to Nicole straight away. Then obviously you weren't that upset about it.
Yeah.
I guess people deal with things differently, but it kind of confirmed my decision. You know what, Jazz? Like, that women's intuition is the only thing that's going to save you in this place. And I was right. So that's that. Got love for him, nothing bad to say, no bad blood, but I was just very thankful in that time. I listened to my women's intuition and it was right.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Of course. And obviously, Bobby, I guess it's a different show because from when you're in the lounges and you're talking to the boys to now watching how people behave in the pods. Do you feel like you saw another side to him from the pods, or do you feel like?
I think I saw it anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think I had sort of a good.
He got the intuition too.
I had the intuition.
He got it too. Yeah.
I don't think I was so shocked to watch it all back, but of course you don't see everything. Of course you don't know what people are saying in their dates. You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. So it's a tough watch, but I think in the end, the right man won. So
100%.
Period.
And do we feel like in the reunion, obviously he was kind of very apologetic. Do we feel like he took accountability for his actions, just for everything,
I don't think it's our place to say because we're not Sam, right? If he is sorry, then I guess actions will follow through with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Haven't spoken to him, but I guess that's on him, right?
Yeah. And I mean, like I said at the time, in reunion, I wasn't fully sold on the fact that he had sort of took accountability and changed. But hopefully it has been a learning curve for him and he can come out of it, a better person. And there is some growth. We'll make mistakes.
Yeah. And just to kind of reiterate and bring back up what you said, Jasmine, he is still a nice person. And I guess he is human like all of us, right? Like some of us all have our own toxic traits and, we all learn, we all make mistakes, yada, yada, yada. So I'm sure that for him, he's on his own journey. But I guess the most important thing right now is the fact that, you chose Bobby and you found a genuine loving bond and you made the right decision and you're still here. So let's rewind back to Greece.
Yeah.
Right? What was it like? Obviously, when you guys saw each other face to face, it was very genuine. There was no awkward moments. It was very lovely. There was nothing to comment on. It was just lovely viewing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Greece. How did it feel now? You're out the pods. You're kind of in this setting. You're away with your boo. You're getting to know each other just a little bit more, but face to face now. How did that feel?
It felt amazing because it was so easy. At first I thought, it was going to be a little bit awkward, but once we had time to ourselves, it developed. It developed very naturally and I felt very comfortable around him. I could do my thing with him. I could be myself around him and he was just very accepting of that. And we'd have so much jokes. We were kind of swimming in the, in the swimming pool all night long. It was vibes. That villa was vibes.
We did some good. Yeah, we got wild, you know, and but it was so much fun. And like she said, like we hit it off right away, so we could tell. I think reunion, that's always going to be an awkward meet. It's your first time meeting somebody, you know. The physical person is a stranger, but you know this person inside out, inside. So it's a weird sort of sensation to sort of describe seeing somebody for the first time that you know really well. It's such a strange concept, isn't it? But once we got to Greece, saw each other again. 5-10 minutes, we was just like we've known each other for years and years. So, and it just grew stronger and stronger, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys did well because some of the couples like were good maybe in the pods, but then like when they were like mixing with others, like it might like different vibe. I feel like you guys were really, really good at just like mixing with everyone. Yeah. Like, and you kind of like kept that same level of energy. I also feel like you both kind of like. You loved the tea, like you were all in the know, both of you. You were in every story, like I loved it. You lot loved the tea.
No, we did.
I could see that, but I do get the vibe from you guys that like you're like best friends as well. So like you know what's going down, and like you know the relationships where you're best friends with a person is where you really like it's the tea. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I feel like me and Bobby are like the mummy and daddy of the group. Everyone comes to us with a tea for advice. And we're just like, like we're sitting on bad boy information, but I'm here to give you advice.
Yes.
But like it always comes to us for some reason or another.
The tea lands on your lap.
On our lap.
But we're happy for it. We welcome it.
Let's discuss the situation. Obviously, like Jasmine, you were very, very vocal. You know, you called out Ollie. Obviously, you know, your girl Demi, you weren't happy because obviously you were on the back end. So you're hearing how she's feeling. You're also seeing a change in Demi's personality. You're seeing, you know, someone who you met in the lounges, someone who's really confident, someone who's really excited and happy, to then kind of like being quite deflated. Obviously, I made a video about this on TikTok and said that, you know, like, oh, you know, go Jasmine. The people were like, no. I actually feel like maybe she was a bit too harsh. That wasn't my initial first take, but like watching everything back, like, how do you feel now?
I think watching everything back, I definitely do, you know, hold my hands up and say my delivery could have been a lot better. And I've apologized to Ollie after the fact. Listen, I was under the sun. I had too much tequila, and it was coming from a place of love.
Yeah, because your eyes were watering. I'm like, I know. When your eyes were a bit watering, like, I know what time it is. I knew what time it was.
No, girl,
I knew what time it was.
Listen, I like to have a little drink here and there, okay? And I like to have a good time.
It was late in the day, wasn't it?
It was.
But you know, it's still good that you defended Demi in that moment, because I feel like, you know, maybe that wasn't something that wasn't a conversation she maybe was going to have so outright with Ollie. And I guess what you kind of did was you got that conversation into the forefront so that now he can start thinking about what you've said and she can start thinking, oh, do I need to confront him? So yeah, I think it's good that you did that.
I think in the show, they show you a very condensed version of what was actually happening in real life. I mean, behind closed doors, Demi was telling me she was going home. Obviously, watching it back, it wasn't really translating on camera what she had said to me, you know, behind cameras. And for me and Demi were besties in the pods. Me and this girl were like planning, we're going to get our fairy tale ending. It's going to be me and you in Corfu, and we're going to be living our best lives, walk down the aisle and get our husbands. So seeing her in that state, it really did affect me, because I'm like, we don't have our phones, we don't have our families. She was my family in that situation. Throughout the experiment, she was my family. I considered her as a sister. So obviously there was a lot of emotions kind of running, and it was kind of like a pressure pot in there. So I did kind of become a little bit too overprotective. Looking back on it, I'm like, you know what? In real life, I wouldn't have gotten that involved. But because it's such a different dynamic being in Corfu, no family, no friends around to advise you on what to do, you just act, you know, out of character. But I think the conversation had to be had. However, my delivery could have been a bit different.
I don't know. I think it should be unapologetic, you know. Like, I think that, look, I think you're allowed to be, I don't like, on the show, like, people, like, you know, you say what you think. That's not a bad thing.
And at the end of the day, I don't think she ever, like, questioned his character.
No,
or said
you
anything.
didn't. No. You didn't.
It was just delivery-wise, that's tequila talking, you know. It's coming on a bit strong. But anything else, I think it was justified, you know, to ask those questions.
And to be honest with you, you think back on it. If someone was asking Bobby, do you like her or do you not? If Mama wasn't singing my praises, yes, I like my girl. I love her.
Boy, I'm not even going to speak.
No, but do you understand? Do you know what I mean? It's a simple question.
Because I guess if the answer was just yes, then that's where it would have ended, right?
Yeah. end the convo. But, you know, at the end of the day, I have love for Ollie. No bad blood. Like,
Ollie's
you know,
a great guy.
He's a great
we've all got
guy.
time for Ollie, yeah.
And we don't need no drama. Listen, I got my man. I won. That's it.
Exactly, 100%. Now, do you guys bicker ever? Because the energy I'm getting in this room right now, it's just nothing but like love. But like, and every couple must get like annoyed at each other.
Yeah, it's very rare, isn't it? It's very rare that we have like an argument. I think it took us a very long time.
Yeah.
Like in the experiment, everyone's like, yeah, but how are you gonna cope when, you know,
Yeah.
things do get
they-
difficult? And
yeah.
when Jasmine gives you that North London energy and that attitude, I was like, well, we'll see. But we were waiting for a long time for it to happen. And it'd be months into our actual marriage until, you know, we had our first fight.
Yeah.
But it's very, with us, our fights are very much sit down, talk it through, say how you feel. We're grown-ups, you know,
Exactly.
we communicate like grown-ups. So
Exactly.
she talks, I listen, I talk, she listens. We resolve it like grown-ups and we move on. That's how we work, isn't it?
You know what's funny? I remember on our first argument, he's like, okay, I'm not going to talk while I'm mad. I'm just going to go for a walk, clear my head, and then I'll come back. And I'm like, shit, this man is grown.
That is so mature.
I have never had an argument like this before.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, we're doing this now. We're doing grown-up relationship.
Damn.
And that was great.
But so, are you aware that people like see you with this like straight talking, like? But I think it's a good thing. But obviously, you know, you haven't been the only person from your family who's become famous off the back of this show.
Yeah.
It's also your mum, and like people are like, yeah, we can see where she gets it from. What's it been like? Obviously, like. People are giving their opinions. How's that been? I think I saw you put up a story on your
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I've not seen everything. I don't know how far it's gone in terms of like the comments, but like, because I guess in the beginning it was kind of like funny.
Yeah.
But how is everything in that area?
I feel like it has been really hard. Like,
my
you know,
gosh.
kind of seeing people's comments about your own mum.
Yeah, that is,
You know,
no.
I have been getting messages like, you need to disown her, you need to give her
What?
therapy. Yeah, really bad
Oh,
comments.
honey, it's never that deep.
It's never that
No.
deep. And if he's not crying about it, then I'm, you know, for sure, like,
Because, yeah, the thing is, like, we'd moved past it very quickly. You know, like, me and Marissa had a conversation the day after. You know, Jasmine had already spoke to her, let her know maybe it was bit too harsh, you know.
Yeah.
But whatever, I was already over it. But she apologized, she
That's
was
what
upset.
mums are like. It's not even
Exactly.
like mums are mum. If my
Yeah.
mum is like that as well, just like so like
Wasn't that deep?
protective
Yeah.
over
Wasn't
her
that deep?
children.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that deep, was it?
it wasn't that deep. And you know what? I feel like people say, like, why didn't you say anything at the time? At the end of the day, I need to respect her. She's my mum. I can't be talking back on her on camera.
Yeah.
Not even off camera. I wouldn't be doing that. I'm not that way inclined.
Yeah.
But I did speak to her saying, you know what? You did come across rude. At the end of the day, this is another woman's son. You know, respect has to be, you know, kind of present both ways.
Yeah.
I do get where she was coming from. She was coming out of a place of love.
Yeah,
you know,
and
at the-
protection as
Exactly.
well, like,
She's an
not a place
immigrant mum for crying out loud.
Yeah.
The people that know.
Yeah.
That,
It's like,
do you understand?
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. They worked hard to get to
Yeah.
this country, to, you know, to protect us, to raise us. And it's not been easy. My mum's worked really hard to raise my brother and I by herself. And I'm not using that as an excuse for her rude behavior. But at the end of the day, no one's perfect. You just got to learn from it and do better. And that's
Yeah.
it.
People also felt like maybe like your mum would be getting too involved in your relationships.
Yeah.
So because that's been some of the commentary
Yeah.
online. So like, what is the deal on that? Do you feel like that is the case? Or do you feel like it's not? What are
No,
your
it's
opinions
not
on
at
that?
all. Not at all. Like Marissa respects the boundaries, you know. And we were very clear in the beginning. You know, this is how it's going to be, and she's been very respectful, very
Very.
supportive. We get on. We've got a great relationship now.
Yeah.
I mean, even after we got married, Jasmine was working like 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. in the hospital. I was spending more time with Marissa than Jasmine was. You know, she'd come around, make some food. She made a lot of effort. You know, she
Yeah.
made a lot of effort to really build that relationship. So now we're really cool, man. Really
Damn, I
cool.
love
It's all
that.
been forgotten.
Yeah. And your wedding day looked magical. Talk to me
Magical.
about it. Because it was the most perfect story. You know, no drama, just love.
It was as a perfect day as we could have ever asked for. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was, I think beforehand, a lot of nerves because we hadn't spoke for a couple of days before. You know, we wanted to really, you know, make it like the real deal. Let's
Yeah.
go back to our families, our friends, and turn up to the day and just be let's make it magical. But it was so exciting. So it probably every emotion I can think of packed into one.
Yeah.
But no, such a nice day. So much love. I mean, I was crying my eyes out watching it back.
Yeah.
For the
Me
first
too.
time. Every time actually.
No, but listen to this, right? So behind the scenes, before the wedding, Bobby tells me like his cousin got him a stripper
Okay.
for his, you know, bachelor party behind the scenes. And next thing you know, Bobby sends me like a 2-minute voice note. I wasn't attracted to the stripper. You know, I'm not attracted to her. It wasn't my
because
plan.
I had no idea. You know, I said to my friends, "You just come round for a little,
have a
little cheeky
drink.
drink in private." Next thing you know, that happened. So
Damn.
I was like,
He's
not
like,
for
the
me.
day before my wedding, you lot are going to do
Yeah,
me
it was
like
probably
this.
I was like, none of you come to my wedding now. It's done.
No.
But obviously it was fine. and,
No, it's fine.
That's good. And watching the episodes back, obviously you've now seen everyone else's wedding. Was there anything that surprised you, or was everything pretty much kind of what you thought it would be?
Yeah, I think for me, pretty much as expected. I think no real surprises. I don't think. What about you?
I don't think so. I think everyone that got married, we had predicted anyway.
Yeah.
And everyone that didn't, we could kind of see behind closed doors that it wasn't going to be a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was the reunion show for you? Because obviously a lot happened, a lot was said. Do you feel like you got everything you wanted to get off your chest?
Yeah, I think we just wanted to focus on ourselves. I mean, we have a great marriage. We're happy. So, why get involved in anything that we don't really need to get involved in? For us, we were sitting back like somebody in the audience,
Yeah.
just taking in the tea like we do.
Yeah, I think we were glad to not be part of the drama. And just, let it play out
Yeah.
and enjoy it. At the end of the day, we've done our drama. We've done our bits and pieces of drama throughout the show. That was our time to just relax, celebrate our marriage, and that's it, you know?
That's good.
Yeah.
And one great thing about this show is, yes, you find your husband, your wife, but you also make really, really good friends. Now, a lot of people on social media are invested in your friendship with Demi. So, have you guys been like catching up or anything? Like, what's the dealio?
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Like, seeing the Corfu situation kind of play back, I was a bit hurt because it was a very different kind of aspect, what she was telling me off camera and on camera. So it has been...
So this, the Ollie situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has been very difficult for me, a very difficult pill for me to swallow.
Of course, yeah.
Because not that I was speaking up for her to gain anything back. I think what I would have appreciated was to her to have my back a little bit.
Yeah.
But then again, you can't expect, what you would kind of do for someone back. So that's been kind of hard for me to kind of come to terms with at the moment. But I think with time, we'll go back to how we were.
Yeah.
But I think we just both need space at the moment. It's
Which
been
is fine.
really overwhelming. But it doesn't mean that I love her any less. It's just been really difficult and overwhelming these past couple of weeks.
And everything is magnified, isn't it? I think everything inside the experiment, whether it's love, whether it's bickering, whether, anything is like times 100 because it's such a small little bubble that you're inside of. So I guess it's normal. And I think we all just need to sort of take in everything that's happened now and just, then we'll get back to normal.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And that's a very mature way, I think, of communicating that and stuff. So for the future of Jasmine and Bobby, are we getting a baby Jasmine and Bobby anytime soon? Is there anything we've thought about? Have there been any discussions about that?
Listen, we already been discussing it, honey.
Really?
Yeah.
Discussing or trying, girl?
Both.
I love that.
It was something that we spoke about in detail, already in the pods. We knew we both wanted to have a family. And I mean, now, a year into our marriage, we're coming up to a year. We're ready now to expand on the family. So that's something that we're working on. So hopefully sometime next year.
I just want to say that in this room, I feel this energy of like calmness and love. And that just must be what you feel with each other.
Yeah, it's been
absolutely.
great. No, I've been blessed. Listen, honey, I have had such a bad, kind of timeline when it comes to dating. Now that this has happened to me, I'm like, thank God, honestly. You literally had my back. I manifested this man and I got him. So it just hits differently. It really does. Like sometimes I'm waking up, I'm like, how are you next to me in bed right now? And how are you so nice to me? And you respect me and you love me and you're so loyal.
And
mad.
it's the same
It's
for me
mad.
because I think for a lot of people, they see this, they see Jasmine as like, oh, she's very outspoken. But for me, I've never really seen her as that. I see her as very sweet, very calm, but I think that's the side that I get, So I'm blessed as well, mad in love. You know, and I've got a best friend as well as a wife. So I couldn't have asked for a better year. You know, it's been the best year of my life. So watching it all back now, it's just beautiful. Really, really happy.
I feel like he brings out my feminine energy. And I love that because I could compare like how I was with other guys in the pods, and I was very masculine. I'm just like FBI agent type thing. With him, I never felt like I needed to do that. I just felt like I could trust them, and I don't know why, it was a feeling. And when you know, you know. That's when they say, when you know, you know. And that's how I felt with him.
And that was like a big part of my reaction when I first saw her. Because the Jasmine that I got in the pods was not this fiery, outspoken girl. It was a really sweet, caring, innocent girl. So when I saw her, and I was like, oh, she got like a whole lot of sex appeal as well. So I was like, what? Not what I was expecting. So yeah, I just imagine this really sweet, innocent girl, which she is also. But there's a lot of sides to her, and I love all of them.
No.
And that is what love is all about. Jasmine and Bobby, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. Let's
My
do this
heart
again.
is warming. Wow. Like,
It's
wow.
mad.
Like, you lot probably got married from a TV show.
Can you imagine?
That is sick. Because not everyone makes it out the way you guys have made
Not
it out.
everyone makes it, man. But we sage every day. We sage every day.